this is an iHeart podcast.
A new NFL season means a fresh start and fresh styles. At NFLshop.com, you'll find the latest jerseys, hats, and sideline gear to rep your team all season long. From rookies making their debut to legends, NFLshop.com has it all. Score exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else and show up ready for every kickoff and big play. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLshop.com.
You want smart political talk without the meltdowns? We got you.
I'm Carol Markowitz.
And I'm Mary Catherine Ham. We've been around the block in media, and we're doing things differently.
Normally is about real conversations. Thoughtful, try to be funny, grounded, and no panic.
We'll keep you informed and entertained without ruining your day.
Join us every Tuesday and Thursday.
Normally on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time. It looks like he was radicalized over the internet, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left. A lot of problems with the left, and they get protected, and they shouldn't be protected. But as you understand, I think very well from the tone of your question.
You're listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson.
Good Tuesday morning. It's so nice to have you with us on the 47 Morning Update, and we've got one big story, and it involves law enforcement. The FBI looking into individuals who appeared to have known about Charlie Kirk's assassination beforehand. And we also have new DNA evidence tying the shooter to the crime scene. All right, I want to take a moment and I want to talk to you real quick about what you can do to help the people in Israel. It was nearly 2 years ago that the terrorists murdered more than 1,200 innocent Israelis, and they took 250 hostages. Today, it seems as if the cries of the dead and dying have been drowned out by the shouts of anti-Semitism and just pure hatred, not just in America, but around the world. And the most brutal attack on Jewish people happened since the Holocaust, and now it's like they're trying to act like it never happened. Now, this is where it is important for us to stand with the people in Israel. It's a movement of love and support for the people of Israel, and this is where I want you to get involved. It is called Flags of Fellowship. It's being organized by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and on October the 5th, you can stand with Israel and the victims proudly. It's just a few weeks away. Millions across America will prayerfully plant an Israeli flag in honor and solidarity with the victims of October the 7th, 2023, and stand with their grieving families. You can be a part of this movement as well, and that's what I love about what IFCJ does. They're making sure that the world knows there are lots of people of faith in this country and friends and advocates for Israel. They're going to stand with them. You can get more information about how you can join the Flags of Fellowship movement, including your church. There are going to be countless churches around the country. They're going to plant flags as well. So all you have to do to get involved with Flags of Fellowship movement is go to ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org. Stand with Israel on October the 5th. It's just a few weeks away. And if your church you think would want to be involved, you can also find out more about how to get your church to be involved on a special Sunday at ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org. It's the 47 Morning Update, and it starts right now.
Story number one.
FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino coming out telling Fox News that there appears to have been multiple warning signs that pointed to the suspect in Charlie Kirk's assassination prior to that shooting taking place. Speaking to Bill Hemmer, Bongino said, not only does there appear to have been multiple warning signs, but there were people in the suspect's network, friends and family, who had stated that he had become more political. He went on to say, I believe some of his coworkers said that he had kind of detached himself when the topic of politics came up and walked away from them. He added that it seems ideology had infected him and had taken over. I want you to hear more of what the FBI Deputy Director had to say on Fox about what we know about him, how we were able to track him, the forensic that were involved. Listen carefully to what he had to say.
Okay, after he fired that single fatal shot, we've got the video of him jumping off the backside of the building. Where is the gun when he drops 15 feet down to the grass below?
Well, if you look at the video, the gun is you'll see in the back of the when you're watching the video right there. It appears from the video here that the gun is either in the backpack or on him. When he jumps down, this is where, by the way, this part of the video, this is where we got a significant portion of the forensic evidence in the case, which we had to expedite. We had a number of assets, including fixed wing assets, to be able to fly. If obviously Salt Lake and that specific area in Provo is not around the corner from FBI labs. It was difficult, but we were able, during that scene, him grabbing that particular side of the building and jumping down, we were able to gather a significant amount of forensic information, which we expedited back to the lab, which was the key, I think, piece of information that we were able to crack this thing open.
Okay. Just looking at that video, it's hard to see the weapon, and that's why the question is still obvious to me today. Kash Patel said earlier today that he expressed to someone that he had an opportunity to take out the killer and was going to do it. Did that person do anything with that information?
Yeah, that's what we're really disturbed about. It appears that this was communicated. You see this a lot, Bill, when in targeted violence cases, assassinations, school shootings, where the individual expresses in advance in a good swath of these cases his desire or her desire to do these specific things. That appears to be the case here as well, where the intent component was there in advance, and the target was announced in advance prior. Now, that's the part we want to know. Did they know and not say? Now, Bill, you have to keep in mind, and I don't want anyone to jump to conclusions on this. Did they say it, hear it, and think it was some kind of a joke? That's what we're trying to find out now. But I promise you, if there's a larger network here, we're going to get that out to the public as soon as we can. We really are.
Okay, the reason why this is really important to your investigation, understanding motive that I'll get to in a moment here, is that I believe that if I've got the dates right here, that event was announced 1 week before it happened. And we've got the reporting from over the weekend that said that the killer, the accused killer now, expressed views with his family at a dinner table. And I don't know what the timeline is between when that happened. Was it hours or was it days? I mean, clearly it had to be at least a couple days, if not less. And if he also expressed this opinion that he had an opportunity to take out Kirk and was going to do it, well, when was that message transmitted? From the point that Charlie was killed?
This is the troubling part of the investigation as I see it now. There appear to have been multiple warning signs. You just laid out some of them. There were people in his network, friends and family, who had stated that he had become more political, that he had become, at some parts, I believe some of his coworkers had stated that he had kind of detached himself when the topic of politics came up and walked away from them. Family members said he'd become more political, leading us to believe that this ideology had infected him and had taken over. And he was just intent, it appears, from the data we've accumulated and the channel and that note, which we have some evidence may have existed before based on the communications in that channel, that his target was obviously going to be Charlie and that people knew in advance. The question is, again, I just want to go back to what you had asked before. Did they know? Were they sure of this? Or did they hear this and just write it off? That's what we're going to have to find out. And that's what we're investigating now. Bill, this investigation is just begun. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. You know, yes, we have a subject in custody. You know, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in our constitutional republic. However, this is not done by any stretch. Our men and women out there in the Bureau have worked tirelessly all weekend. I just got back to D.C. Last night. And, Kash and I were out there on the scene. We walked the scene. We went through every single component of it. We saw the evidence up close and personal. And we went out there to be able to make command decisions with our team on the ground. And I think the process although not perfect, of course. I think the process went pretty well, considering we got him in 33 hours.
You listen to Bongino there, and I think one of the things that he's also talking about is there accountability for those that knew or may have known what was happening here? You go back to that key phrase. I believe some of his coworkers say that he had kind of detached himself. And then you move from there. He referenced a note that Robinson allegedly left behind, pointing out that it may have existed, quote, before, based on communications law enforcement has recovered. He indicated the totality of everything and makes it clear that, quote, his target was obviously going to be Charlie Kirk, and that the people around him knew that that was going to be his target in advance. So where do you go from here? What Bongino said is the investigators are now having to look at this. Did they know? Were they sure of this? Or do they hear this and just write it off? You put all of this together, and then you put it back to the Utah governor, Spencer Cox, indication that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, quote, had not only left-leaning political beliefs, but clearly disliked Charlie Kirk and was telling people that. So I have to say, there needs to be some sort of accountability. There has to be some sort of obviously very good and in-depth investigation. What we also know is there's no doubt that this is the guy. The FBI confirming the DNA found at the scene of Charlie Kirk's assassination's hiding spot matches the suspect. And apparently he had confessed to his family and to some friends, including in a chat room. And so with the confirmation now that the DNA samples found at the spot where Charlie Kirk's assassin hid positively match the suspect now in custody. That also is going to move us forward on another point, and that is on the death penalty. Kash Patel saying this on Fox and Friends about the DNA matching.
And I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
There it is. Kash Patel telling you that not only did the suspect's towel that wrapped around the assassin's weapon match, the screwdriver left on the UVA rooftop both match the suspect already in custody. This is incredible work, by the way, by the men and women in law enforcement. Robinson, by the way, also wrote a note saying, declaring that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and that he was going to take it. Patel went on to say as well, saying, quote, we have since learned the note, even though it was destroyed. We have found forensic evidence of the note, and we have confirmed that the note said what the note said because of our aggressive interview posture at the FBI. We also know that further DNA found on the .30 caliber bolt-action rifle with a scope believed to have been used in the shooting is still being analyzed to determine its links to Robinson as well. Patel also confirmed that Robinson is still not cooperating with investigators. I got to say, I am very thankful for Kash Patel, for Dan Bongino, for all of the men and women in law enforcement that have been working on this case at the local, state, and at the federal level. What they were able to do to find him and what they've been able to do to make it very clear he did what he did is incredible police work. God bless them for what they're doing, and God bless Donald Trump, by the way, for making sure that he picked the right people for these jobs.
Thank you for listening to the 47 Morning Update with Ben Ferguson. Please make sure you hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. And for more in-depth news, also subscribe to the Ben Ferguson Podcast, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
A new NFL season means a fresh start and fresh styles. At NFLShop.com, you'll find the latest jerseys, hats, and sideline gear to rep your team all season long. From rookies making their debut to legends, NFLShop.com has it all. Score exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else and show up ready for every kickoff and big play. Fan like a pro and shop now at NFLShop.com.
You want smart political talk without the meltdowns? We got you.
And I'm Carol Markowitz.
And I'm Mary Catherine Ham. We've been around the block in media, and we're doing things differently.
Normally is about real conversations. Thoughtful, try to be funny, grounded, and no panic.
We'll keep you informed and entertained without ruining your day.
Join us every Tuesday and Thursday.
Normally on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is an iHeart podcast.